Hello. Today I want to tell you probably one of the most valuable things I've ever done for myself. And I think if you're not already doing this, you're missing out on so much in life. So, the thing that I want to be talking about today is documenting your journey. And today I want to specifically talk about documenting your journey by making YouTube videos. So, I have four reasons why I think that documenting your journey is insanely helpful for probably almost everyone. And yeah, let's just get straight into the first one. So, the first one is we have to be reminded more than we have to be taught. So, you might have heard this. Alex Ramosi says this a lot. I like Alex Ramosi, and I basically agree with a lot of things he says. He said a lot of good stuff. And one of the things he really says a lot is that we just have to be reminded more than we have to be taught new things, right? There's usually not this really special new lesson we need to learn to start making bigger improvements into our life, right? But there's usually some things that you've already heard in the past, but that you might have forgotten, which actually really makes sense if you think about it. And it kind of makes me angry for myself that I used to think that the lessons I learned in life, that I would just remember all of them subconsciously and consciously at the same time, where I would actually start implementing them every single day just because I heard them sometime in a video. Well, that's not gonna work. I don't have that good memory, and I don't know if you do or if anyone watching this does, but I don't think so. I think we all do not have the capacity to remember all of these lessons that we learned from different sources, from different people, different different places. So I guess that's kind of two things in once. First is we have to be reminded more than we have to be taught. So we don't have to learn new lessons. We just have to relearn, and this is the key word, relearn our old lessons that really helped us. Because I think, again, well, not again, new thing I'm saying, but I think that there's different things that work for different people, and if you know what those mindsets or those lessons are, and you keep relearning them to yourself, because you're going to probably forget them. I definitely did forget them. So if you relearn them, well, then you're just going to have a much easier way of going through life, because you're going to have all of these valuable lessons that actually help you just basically ready whenever you need them. So that's the first thing. You need to be reminded more than you need to be taught. And you can only be reminded if you document what you're actually learning. So once you learn a new concept, just record it and post it online. And now I just want to quickly tell you my personal experience, right, with also recording a lot of videos, usually for myself. Some videos I did really to kind of get views, grow the channel, which kind of flopped. I have like 36 subs. Happy for all of them. 20 are like friends and family. But yeah, I still am insanely happy with this channel. And one of the reasons why I'm really happy with this channel is because it's like a journal, and it's really interesting to look back at certain phases of your life and be able to look at the mindset that you had right there. And you can kind of look at it from a third person because you are not that anymore. So, for example, the videos that I used to make were like 8 months ago, and I had a completely different mindset. And the nice thing is, once you're recording videos, you're not having a conversation with yourself. No, you are hearing yourself. So if you're watching an old video of yourself, you are hearing yourself speak 100% of the times. And well, what we speak is usually just a reflection of what we think and what's in our minds. So we can really get into our minds at that time. We can really go back into what we were really thinking back there and kind of analyze it. And it's very valuable, honestly. You might think like, oh, okay, well, what does it really matter to go back to the past? But it is really interesting, at least I find, and very helpful, not just interesting, but just helpful in general, to look back and see what you thought at that time, what you think right now, and kind of really get clear on where you really are in life and where you stand. Where are your values? Where are your morals? What are your hygiene standards for life? What were they back then? What were they now? What do you really want to live life like? And what is your why? What is your passion? What's your purpose? All of these things you can really, really look back at if you are recording videos. But if you just have them in your mind at the time, you will, or at least I did, I would have if I didn't record them. And there's periods where I didn't record it. So I did for some periods. I would have forgotten them, or I did forget them in some periods. And that is just a pity, because it sucks not being able to look back at certain times. So, for example, 3 months ago, I had a really, really tough time. Okay, well, not, yeah, it was about 3 months ago. More 4 months ago, I had a really, really tough time. I did some stupid stuff, got in debt with about like 2,000 euros in debt. And it was a pretty low point, not gonna lie. It was a really, really low point in my life. And I would love to be able to look back at my thoughts at that time and how I was thinking, because I kind of got into this mini rut that I had for like a month, maybe even 1.5, maybe even 2 months. It's kind of different, long story, but whatever. And I would love to look back at that, right? Because then I can see what was different back then. Why did I not work then, and why did I work for the last 2 months again? And why did I work harder 8 months ago than I did now? Not saying that's true, but if that was the case, you can just look back on certain periods of your life and say, and get an answer to all of your questions about why you did a certain thing. Because why you do certain things is usually also just a reflection of your mindset. How how you stand into the world, how you're living life, is usually again a reflection of your mindsets. And that is something you can again view, or at least view on the surface, from watching old videos. So that's one thing. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is, if you're recording these videos, of course, there might be people that relate a lot with you. And either two things can happen, or I guess three. The first thing is, nobody sees you, nobody relates with you, maybe, or probably I don't believe there's anyone who wouldn't relate with someone. You're definitely going to have millions of people in the world that definitely relate to you. The videos might just not get recommended to them, or they just don't want to watch it. But if they would watch it to the end, they would really relate with you, etc., etc. There's all of these different reasons. But, so that's one thing. Nothing happens. Well, then it's good. You still have this documentation. It's for yourself. That's why I really like this, because I'm not chasing views here. I don't care if the video gets 0 views or if it gets 1,000 views. And I'll still be happier, of course, if it gets 1,000 views, because I'm a human. I like high numbers and shit. But I don't really care if it gets 0 views as well, because I still gain something for myself while I'm still helping other people as well. Because these lessons, if you watch them and you learn from them, I'm not just giving them to myself, of course. Otherwise, I would just keep them in a private document where I could always watch them back myself. But I'm, of course, also recording these videos for you. And that's why it's kind of a win-win for every single one of you, right? Now, that's one thing. Nobody watches it. Second thing is, there's going to be people that really, really relate with you, and that are going to just watch your videos and you actually help them. And think about how valuable that could be, right? So, for example, what I like to always think about is, I think Hamza used to speak about that a lot in his paid program, that you have to make videos for your younger self. And just imagine that if you're making videos and your younger self of you 2 years ago or 3 years ago or 4 years ago would be watching that, and he relates a lot with you. So he trusts you because you feel relatable, or he feels relatable to you, and vice versa. Well, then you're changing lives, and that's just purposeful. That is just a purposeful thing to do, which is another win. So the first thing is a win. This thing is a win. Now the third thing could be, Or I guess it's kind of the same thing, but that could be that maybe a lot of people start relating with you and you actually start to build kind of like a personal brand actually, right? And really a lot of people are watching you. And that also is going to give you basically infinite benefits. And you know what the benefits are, right? I don't have to tell you. If you have a lot of followers, you can, of course, it's just nice to have. I guess you could sell something to them, help them, do whatever, just help them make make more videos so you can help them for free. Do whatever, with an audience you can really do a lot. I think, I don't know, I'm not that big on that, but that's kind of another really good reason. So kind of all three things are a big win-win, right? That said, the fourth thing I think is really interesting, and I think you really want to watch this because this is very interesting. So you know how you kind of have opinions in your head, right? You have things you think about, and you have things that you know are true to you, but you wouldn't really want to get tested on it. And that's the funny thing. Once you are putting out these YouTube videos, of course, even if you know that you're probably making them more for yourself and just maybe for a small amount of people, well, you still, at least I have this feeling that I need to kind of know what I'm talking about. So you have to get really clear on what you actually think about these things. And it's funny how immediately you see results where you get so much clearer on your thoughts and on your perception on life and on your visions of things and on your just your overall view on life, right? For example, the topic I'm talking about today, well, I had to kind of think about it, right? While I was kind of scripting the bullet points, I had to kind of think, well, what do I really think about this topic? And now after I recorded this video, I'm a lot clearer on what I think, and it's really strong because then the next time you have a conversation with somebody about it, well, you now have your mind very clear because you've already recorded a video where you are basically talking about that thing and you were sharing it to a lot of people, which gave you the extra pressure, the extra kind of boost you needed to actually get a lot clearer on what you actually think about that topic. So that's also a really good, I guess, character development boost that you get. Or not really character development. It definitely develops you, knowing your opinions more on a deeper level and actually really refining what you think and getting clearer on what you think or what your opinions are. So that's another benefit. That was all the bullet points. Just to summarize it, right? Just start making videos and putting them out. There's literally no negative. That was the third bullet point was talking about it. No, the second one, my bad. No, it was the third. There's no bad outcome from just recording yourself and putting these videos out there every single day or whenever you want to do it, because you are going to thank yourself in the future. Trust me, you definitely will thank yourself in the future. At least I did. So this is just, again, something I would have taught to my younger self, and hopefully I can do you a favor with it as well. Like always, share this to 200 people. Otherwise, I have to do 1 push-up for every like this gets, or something like that. Good outro. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.